Alrighty, folks, we're back on this thing. So, for now, I don't have a tranny or have any of that stuff. Might have a line on a transmission, automatic. But for now, we got a little bit of rust stuff to take care of. So that's the first thing I'm gonna just hammer through and just kind of take that, get that taken care of. I'd love to have the transmission so I can actually get the interior in, because I don't know if I got to cut up the floor or anything like that to make it fit. So, I mean, it did have a Dodge motor in there, so possibly, I'm guessing it fit. So I've been told. I don't know. Still have to figure out the whole rack pinion thing. So the steering is kind of bunk, but it works to roll it around, provided there's no weight in it. As soon as you put weight in it, the wheels kind of point out, and it's kind of miserable to push around. But like I say, I want to fix those inner rockers right now. Possibly look at how the e-brake setup is going, whether we can do something, if there is something in here that I can attach it to. I'm not sure. Well, we do have the factory tug handle is there, but I don't know if it's actually attached to anything. That'd be cool if I can get that to work. Anyways, we're starting right there. That's what we're gonna do. Hopefully I get a motor and be able to mock some stuff, or sorry, a transmission, and I'll be able to mock some stuff up here by the weekend. But for now, I just want to deal with the few things that it needs anyways, so may as well hit those while we're at it, and then, well, kind of keep plugging away. Still waiting on some parts or something to try to get that going. It works. I'm just trying to do the cruise control. So whatever. That's a whole different story right now. Anyways, yeah, let's do some inner rocker rust repair. All right. Well, I want to do these. That's the plan. This is going to be pretty simple. We're going to just build the tiniest of shelf to come out back so it looks factory. And then we'll kind of slice this up a little, and we're just going to make a simple little plate that's going to go in there. But first thing I want to address is, because I got this dripping here, I want to fix this master just to make sure everything's good with it. We'll see how that is in general. So you can see this goes back here to a brake switch. Okay. This kind of piggybacks here. Now I just noticed we have a lot of stuff to clean up. So this was how the brakes were mounted in the back, and not so good. To which, because we have disc brake, they got these rubber hoses, to which that is sitting like that. So that's kind of fine. That's not too bad. And then that does that over here. So anyways, I think what we're going to do here is I want to see how the brake fluid's kind of bunk out of here right now. I want to address and fix these. So this thing, I'm thinking we're going to make, you know, a little mount somewhere here, because that's not going to be so big of a deal. So we'll make something for that. We can redo these lines. This one needs to go here. I don't like the way this is going around the shock, so we'll probably make this one go straight ahead with a new mount right here, to which then we can kind of redo this brake line. Yeah, we'll redo that line. Most of it seems okay. It's going up to here. So we'll redo this. Maybe this mount I'm going to put like under here, because there's a little tab on there. So we'll buzz that under here. And yeah, well, let's just fix some of this stuff up. Let's make it a little nicer. All right, some light on here. So this is what we came up with. I made a little tab that just sits on the spring perch. So zap that there. Now this has got a nice permanent something. Ran, instead of all that line, we just ran a line up. It goes into the snap up top. Comes around, we got the same business back here. So that's good. We can undo that to change a line or anything. Upstairs, all I did is I just zapped that thing under the original mount, but put it on this side of the shock so it's not actually rubbing on anything. So that's good. This line was actually pretty good. So, wow, the line's fine. We just kind of tucked it in behind. Coming up here, oh, that's gonna not give us brake lights. Okay, coming over here, I had to change out this fitting. So I did that. And then I noticed this line was, the one going to the front was like excessively long. Like now it kind of follows the frame rail. Before it went like way up and then came back down. It's like probably one of those pre-made lines. So, and they just kind of did whatever they had to do. So I just trimmed it. I'm guessing the transmission mount kind of went somewhere here. So I just, for now, I kind of just made that line run high and go back down. We have like a brake pressure switch. So that's good. The rear brakes are, the cables are garbage. None of them want to pull. At least I can't get them to pull. So I don't think I have any of them, but they're here. So I can order new cables. What we're gonna do is, well, I'm gonna cut these, but I can tell the original emergency brake is right here. So that part is cool. So what we're gonna do is make a simple mount. We're gonna come back here. Well, I can trim that, but I'm gonna make a little mount back here that will hold this. This thing I'll just press into. And then over back here, just, I don't know, where these want to be a little more relaxed. There we go. Like I'm feeling I just want to come off of this. Tang. We can almost make a bracket that bolts on if we wanted, because the shocks, or the springs bolt on here, but I don't know. This one's a little on the longer side and probably won't enjoy that. So I am thinking we'll make a tab off of here to which this brake and this brake, you know, it'll have just two holes and a slab. It'll be like this. Then we'll be able to kind of like reuse this cable or something, come around, loop it to this, and then we'll have our emergency brakes all work and be that easy. So I'm going to quickly, we'll head over to our plasma machine there. We're going to cut us up 2 brackets really quick. We just got to measure the hole size that we need, and then, well, that'll put, other than changing the cables out, that'll put emergency brakes done, brakes done. Brakes are done other than bleeding them. I have to see how this is going to work, pan out yet, because there's no, I don't know how well this is going to work. So I'm a little mixed on the whole single master at this point. You know, if it works, I'm okay with it, because I'll have the emergency brake as a backup. You know how that goes. And then I just worried it's with disc all 4 corners, if that master's the right size, or I have to add a residual valve. I'm not sure, because usually a master cylinder like that would put 10 pounds, which is gonna like make all my brakes drag. So usually you have a red and a blue, so I'd have to put a blue residual in the line. I don't know. I'm not sure. So it'll have to be an experiment. I'll have to get him, just try it and see. I think, again, unless somebody out there knows better than I do, they can let me know, because I don't have a clue. Alrighty. We got the e-brake stuff sorted out. I got to order some cables, so we're going to do that right away. I got to figure out, I'm just got an order going, so I'm kind of going to figure out everything I need for this. Well, try to figure out a lot of stuff for the car, and then we'll, whatever. It's going to go out, it's going to come back in. I think I want to drag Esther's Buick in just to get started on that, get the motor out, things like that. That's the plan in the next day or so. I think tomorrow Trevor's coming out, so I'm probably going to give him a hand on his car, on his A, because I think we're going to try to figure out firewall, some stuff like that. And yes, and then I don't remember if I said or not, but Ryder's coming out, so I'm going to prep and cut out the rusty stuff out of those rockers, and then I'm going to wait and get Ryder to basically make a patch that goes across the back and then kind of zap it in and do like a 90 bend so he can replace whatever's rotten with the lips on here. And I think on the spots on this side where the lips are actually not terrible, but it's rotten on the inside. So my plan is to come in, cut this out, and then he's just going to come in. I'm going to get him to lap over it. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm going to cut this bottom lip off so he can make another piece that transitions down, and then you can kind of spot that into there as well. That's kind of the plan for that. Should be pretty straightforward. We only got the two sections here that are pretty bad, and that's everything else has kind of been patched up, so it's pretty good that way. Anyways, I will get cut, and then we'll see when Ryder comes out. Alrighty. Good rider in the house. It's kind of patched up. Got all, this is all welded. We sealed it up. Now he's just underneath touching up anything that needs a little bit of touch up. Got some right there. As we'll hit in there, you can see the frame and some of the stuff over there. We'll hit a lot of that. May as well doll it up. May as well burn up that can. Oh, over here, you can get this bracket and stuff too. Okay. And even this. Here's a little light, so we'll hit that. Again, I'm not sure if I got to cut any of that, so we'll wait on that.
We're already recording.
Yes. So, yesterday, Ryder got all the rockers done. I think I was saying that. We did that, seam seal, that's done. We're kind of done a lot of the mechanical stuff. I'm still trying to source out, like I really want to try a manual transmission. But I poked the question out, can I put a Saginaw behind one of these? Because I have those trannies, but people are all saying you can't. And I'm not sure why, because I don't have the bell housing, so I can't really see, but you know, just doing the math on it, I don't see why not. Like, these parts look the same. Maybe it's because I'm trying to mix Dodge and GM stuff together. That's a big taboo. I don't have a clue, but I have this one. This is the one that was in the fire. I was going to put that behind the other Hemi. But I can't imagine the tranny would be bad other than just seals. I don't know.
So you're contemplating that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the car would be so cool with a manual. There's just a lot of things I don't know. I really don't know if that master cylinder is going to work with this setup. Because we got all disc brakes now, and that's a single pot. I should just bleed it and just see how they feel. Part of me is just, you'd like to have a dual master in here, but it's, I'll have the emergency brake and stuff working, so it should be fine. The other one that happened, I'm gonna move this, because I have never sat in the car or anything. Ryder was sitting in it.
Right, yes, you told me about this.
I'm starting to wonder if anybody actually ever has driven this car. And if they did, it must have been the most miserable thing ever. But I'm just going to get my light out here. It's crazy.
There is some definite weirdness going on with the steering.
Well, yeah, we got the rust done. I mean, I could scuff and shoot this thing, paint. But I mean, for me to do that and do motor swap work and stuff is just going to be I'd rather do it after, because it doesn't really need much. I think it's just a sand and shoot. Like, it's just,
yeah, everything
looks pretty solid. So I don't know what color, because of the gross green. I'm thinking it's going to get a kind of a grossy green on the outside too, but
yeah,
I don't know.
It's not our favorite shade of green. We like green.
I like green.
That kind of green we really like.
Anyways, Ryder was sitting in here and he was like, does your steering wheel move or does it tilt up? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
It's never occurred to me that I can't get my knees under it.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, if somebody drove this, that must have been the most terrible time. This wheel honestly should be like here. So that's telling me I'm gonna have to replace the steering column in here.
That is just bizarre.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Like, I'm not poking at people's
No, it's just different.
It's just, yeah. I don't know. Like, the steering wheel was up there for a reason. It's because so your legs can get underneath it.
Right.
Yeah, this is.
It's just an odd position. It's just an odd.
I have another car, so that's not a big deal. I can get the column. And when I thought it was a factory auto, right? But it looks like somebody just modified something and stuck it on there just to do the whole automatic thing. Mm-hmm. Which, whatever. That's cool.
For sure.
But, yeah. I don't know. Like this. Mind you, this. Now the more I look at it, this green's not terrible. It's just this green.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. Definitely not a fan.
With you there.
The bottom's not bad. Maybe if it went with a more darker foresty green.
Something closer to what the door panels are.
Golly. Okay. But I have that one Dodge car that I've stolen parts from. So,
oh my goodness.
Essentially, I got to add a foot to this column almost just to be right. Luckily, there's like no wires or nothing in there. And we got to redo the steering anyways, so I've been doing, this door I gotta fix, it's hanging a little. So there's not even enough room here to like push the steering column back because that wouldn't give me enough room. But it looks like somebody did the,
I went too close. Hang on, let me back up. I was trying to get in to see the steering. There you go.
I mean, it looks like somebody put a grease zerk on here and stuff, which is pretty cool, but I'm, what did I pinch there? Oh, block heater. That's okay. Anyways, yeah, like it's just, I don't know. There's some stuff, whatever. I'm going to change the steering column, so I'm going to fix that. Yeah.
Is the Hemi staying in?
Yes. So far, yes. I just got to figure out the wiring.
Mm-hmm.
I really just want to figure out the wiring. It's just one of those, I don't know, open up. I don't really come across these motors very often. And then when you do, they're just, I can buy 2 LSs for one of those. So it's kind of why I use it. But I don't know, it'd be interesting. And it'd be just, if I'm going to go, I would like to go all out. Let's go to manual and kind of do that stuff.
It'd be cool.
But kind of hit a roadblock till I get some parts. So,
yeah.
Well, I have that. I got to get a rack. Yeah. So the rack pinion, because we're kind of ahead a little bit on video. So I'm sure people have already commented what kind of racks and stuff that a fella should use. But anyways, like with these particular cars, when I've been looking, what a lot of people use or used to use was the, I guess, early 90s, like Cavaliers. They had a center steer rack. I think Dodges, like the Intrepids, had them, but they were opposite. They were a front steer, so they wouldn't work in the back. It would steer backwards. So there's a lot of companies that do make something, but it's like, by the time I get it here, it's almost as much as I paid for the car. So just for a rack opinion. Anyways, the Cavaliers, I've been looking, they're like non-existent. They don't even reproduce them. So
they used to be everywhere.
The older square Cavaliers is like non-existent around here. But I've been looking, and it sounds like Hondas, like 2001 and up Honda, like Honda Civics, had a center steer. It's not right because the rack would sit there and the steering, they bolted on the bottom versus the Cavalier is like on the, how does it go? I think it's on the back side, and then you can kind of just extend the arms and it works. You could do a plate to correct the steering properly and everything, but I think the bump steer is not crazy like that. So there's a couple things, and apparently a Saab something as well, but that's like, I don't know where you
that'll be super common.
Yeah, around here that wouldn't be. So the Hondas, I'm gonna wait till one of them come through the yard here and on its way to the scrap and try to steal that out of one to see how that would work. I've seen it done, but like I say, it steers off the bottom. So I think from there, I just got to make a plate up to the top because through the travel, it would end up hitting the rack. So I've seen it where they make a plate that goes up and across, and then they kind of adapt something that way.
Yep.
So at least that would be common, easy to get. So I kind of need that. I need the bell housing. I think I'm kind of done with this car for now. I'm going to just pull the hood spring, stow the hood on just to cover this all up, throw it out. I want to get your Buick in. I really want to get that started.
I really, really want to drive it this summer.
So like until I find a bell housing, I mean, I've had a lot of people have offered up some autos and I got a couple, which is cool. I'm just going to hold out for a manual right now. I think the car would just be really cool with that. The automatic just presents, I don't know if I talked about it, but presents the problem with the kick dump cable that's very necessary for this. So, and it's because I have the electric throttle, there's no real provision for it. I was talking with Frank, like I said before, and I guess I can make I could probably make a bracket off the throttle cable and kind of run it that way. But again, I'm just trying to semi-hot rod this thing, I guess.
Yep.
So I'm mixed on that. I'll probably bleed the brakes. I'll see how they feel. But if I end up going stick, I think I'm just going to put some swinging pedals in there because it'll just make the most sense. And then I'll just, ditch, save the master for something. But I'm thinking that's about as far as we're going to get with this project for now. We kind of know where we're going, but I can't even try to do this wiring yet until I can bolt a starter to it.
You need quite a few bits yet.
Yeah, and whatever. It was kind of a bring it in, see. Like I say, we fixed the rust. So I've dealt with the brakes so far. Everything I can do with the brakes. I just might change out the pivot and put the clutch in if I can make that work. I don't know. I'm mixed on a lot of things, but I think it'll be a cool car. I don't really want to do much of the interior because I just don't know my transmission choice if I'm going to have to, with that tranny and this motor, if I have to cut up the tunnel yet, so I don't want to put the carpet in and do the
That makes
interior and
sense.
stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of save the paint for when I do the car, because maybe I'll paint the dash parts the same that I would do the outside.
That would be cool.
I know Stefan there, like at Guys, they had
yeah.
a whole bunch of weird mismatched paints, so I can maybe get some paint cheap and we'll see what happens.
That sounds
So
like a
yeah,
good idea.
that's probably it for this one for a little bit. It's gonna push outside. It was never gonna be a huge build. It was just kind of like just smash it together and have some fun with it.
Yep.
I think next is going to be your Buick. I want to get it in at least pull the motor out. I have one motor, like an LS there. That's the plan. We're gonna do an LS. I got headers. I got an oil pan. I really don't know what else I need. Painless, actually, they sent us a wiring harness, so I'm actually gonna do like an aftermarket one on that car.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna keep the 3-speed in it because it didn't rev high or do anything weird.
No.
And I want the speedometer to work and all that stuff. So that's the goal there.
Yay.
Yeah. Anyways,
Sounds like
I'm
a plan.
thinking this one might be a little short, but there wasn't too much that we could do with it. There's a bunch we can do, but I need a rack. I need a transmission. So it'll be back, and we're going to figure this out.
Sounds good.
Anyways, as always, folks, I want to thank you all for watching. And we will catch you on the next one where we're going to do some Buick stuff.
Yay!
All right, later, folks.